what I'm looking at is I think Preston Williams is going to be the number 2. And you look at Chan Gailey's offense, it favored the wide receivers. Ryan Fitzpatrick favored the wide receivers.
BRB Blazer.
We got Anthony's boy.
Preston Williams. Deep sleeper.
Yeah, this is deep, dude. This
I
is
wanna
like
hear this. I have him, so
I don't know if you guys
This is
know.
like REM sleep. Deep,
I don't know if you
right?
guys know this, but scientists discovered an ocean underneath the crust of the earth. And they think there might be weird alien-like creatures in there. Preston Williams lives there, dude. That's how deep.
Is this
that's
real?
how deep into this.
Are they asleep
world.
down there?
Yeah. No, really though. They actually did find that, but that's a
really?
That's a different podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So yeah, Preston Williams. I mean, he did have the ACL tear last season. I've been reading reports. He's on schedule for week 1. This would obviously my sleeper would change if something happens and he has a setback and he's not ready for week 1 and something happens with that. So I'm saying that with this instead. He's going in they said we're using the ADP calculator. Wide receiver 57, so that's the 13th round. Last year in the 8 weeks he played, he was wide receiver 36 in PPR formats. Do you want to know who led the Dolphins in targets in the first 8 weeks?
Preston Williams.
Oh, Preston Williams. That was ahead of Devontae Parker. That was ahead of Mike Gesicki. 60 targets, and he was actually still 8 targets ahead of Devontae Parker. You know who was throwing him the ball in that time?
Fitzpatrick.
the quarterback.
But the other one that was
That
was terrible.
The Rosen one?
The Rosen one. So most of these targets are actually
about him.
Rosen targets. And he still had a pro ref. I got to cut these in half, but it was 60 targets for 32 receptions and 400 and whatever half of 856 yards is. And 3 touchdowns.
428.
Yeah, 428. So you pace that out. That was 120 targets, 64 receptions, 856 yards, 6 touchdowns. And like I said, most of that came from the Rosen one.
Who's worse?
Who was worse, yeah. So now there is this narrative that Mike Gesicki is going to be the number 2. He's going to play the Eric Decker role. And I kind of want to say Eric Decker was a really good receiver in the NFL. And I think we can all agree with that.
His wife was bad.
You know who's not even that good of a... Yeah, his wife was pretty bad. You know
Still
what? To this
that
point
in there.
hasn't even been that good of a receiving tight end? Mike Gesicki. So what I'm looking at is I think Preston Williams is going to be the number 2. And you look at Chan Gailey's offense, it favored the wide receivers. Ryan Fitzpatrick favored the wide receivers. The Dolphins are like the first team I've kind of been breaking down, and I actually see Preston getting about 100 to 120 targets. So with like wide receiver 57, I just think you're getting extreme value out of that.
No, 13th round. Yeah,
I will say that Anthony is very good at getting receivers in like the late rounds, and actually, I think you're pretty good at finding some sleepers. Maybe it's a luck thing.
Maybe it's a crust thing.
That's a what?
I go under the crust of the earth.
Yeah, that's what it is. Bro, you got the biggest shovel.
He went deeper on you.
You got the
right there.
biggest shovel in the world. You're just digging down. It's so deep. So you have so much more strength than everybody else.
I mean, think about it. We talked about Preston Williams last year as like a rookie sleeper.
Yeah,
you know?
you brought him up, Dre, before
Undrafted.
he even got drafted. A guy to keep an eye on. You know, he goes undrafted because he had some off the field issues. But I mean, a guy where people are saying he could have went like in the first couple rounds of the draft.
100%.
Talent wise.
Yeah, there was like some attitude issues, I guess, or character issues, and then some off-field issues.
Yeah, they said he got a domestic at Colorado State, but he actually got cleared from it, so he actually didn't. And they said he's like a really good kid, so that's why it's like that girl really did him dirty with that. That's fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, he is penciled into the wide receiver 2 on this team. So it's like he's going to be the outside receiver. Like I said, I get where people are using the Eric Decker role and stuff like that, but Mike Gesicki is not going to be on 2 wide receiver sets on the outside. They actually even have Albert Wilson penciled in the slot already. So if we're assuming that Mike Gesicki was going to play some type of Eric Decker role, I actually just don't even think that's going to happen. I think he's just going to be the wide receiver 2 on this team. And Fitzpatrick has favored wide receivers more than tight ends. And then you have Gailey's system, who's also favored wide receiver more than tight ends. 100%. And if you're lining 2 of these guys up on the outside, who's more talented as an actual receiver, Preston Williams or Mike Gesicki? Preston Williams. I've watched them both, and Williams does some shit where I'm like, okay, that was legit. But Gesicki's just looked okay so far.
Yeah,
I'm not saying, don't hear what I'm not saying, because I still think we can get into this later episode. I still think there's a role for Gesicki to be successful as well. But I think when it comes down to it, he's going to be the number 2 target on this team. And you're getting him, like I said, almost basically undraftable in a sense.
Yeah, you're getting him dirt cheap.
Yeah, this is people who know their shit drafting him in like the 14th round on wide receiver 57. When you're in your home leagues, people aren't going to be taking Preston Williams.
No.
So you're going to almost get this guy for free. And I mean, he was outpacing Parker, which I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But could it be a lot closer than we're assuming? Could it be, maybe Parker's a 140 target guy and Preston Williams right behind him at 120, 130?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be unreasonable. And, I'd like to think that if he played a full 16 with Fitzpatrick in the mix, he would have been close to a 1,000-yard receiver last year.
As
Like I said,
a rookie.
As a rookie. And that way he would have, I think, led all rookies at that
Yeah,
point.
I think he would have outdone Darius Slayton because Darius Slayton did his thing, but yeah, I mean, he's got the physicality, he's got the size, he's like a big boy too. Like, because sometimes they have to like rookies have to like grow into it or like be strong enough to beat press. Like he's already ready for it. I mean, he's a big boy and he's an older guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't see him digressing as long as he stays healthy. So he should get you at least 800.
Yeah.
800 receiving yards.
I kind of want to see where the 64 receptions, 856, and 6 would have ranked among rookie wide receivers. I'll look that up and I'll bring that back up on another episode because I can't pull that up that fast.
That's up there. I mean, 6 for rookies. I mean, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, and like Darius Slayton were like.
I don't even know if Slayton had that many yards. It was close.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, maybe I don't know about yards, but touchdowns he had like a couple big games. But yeah, but these guys were drafted. This guy wasn't. So
Yeah. It's just kind of it's an under, and he tore his ACL. And I pay attention to injuries now, and we've been seeing receivers come back a lot better than running backs. I feel like from ACL tears. I feel like with running backs, I'm always sketched to get them after coming back from an ACL tear. But we've had some receivers come back with ACL tears and be fine going into.
Emmanuel Sanders fucking tore his Achilles and he's balling. So
Yeah, that'll be something we could ask Dr. Coochie.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr.
AKA the
Gucci.
medicine
Dr.
man.
Cucci.
Dr. Cooch.
We actually got to ask him. We got to talk to him more about just.
We'll write down more injuries. We got
Because
some
he'll be one of the
coronavirus,
guys
too.
we could talk about, and just get his opinion on
Well, it seems
the
ACLs.
ACL coming back, injury and stuff like that.
I was gonna say every day it seems like another player gets the coronavirus. Comes down with this.
You're just ready for that. The thing with him is, I guess maybe his size. He's like 6'3", a little bigger than Emmanuel Sanders, but
Oh, he's 6'5".
6'5".
Big.
Oh, so he's a
He's
big,
big boy.
big boy.
So then
Yeah.
Emmanuel
He's a
Sanders
big boy.
is what 5'10", like 5'11".
I saw him in person. Whatever he is on the field, he's
He's
under
not
6
right,
foot.
exactly.
He's under 6
That's
foot.
right. I'm not giving him 6 foot. I'm sorry.
I know his chain was
Emmanuel
6
Sanders, you're not getting 6 feet. Maybe
All right.
6 feet away, maybe.
And this
But
comes from someone who's like 5'8".
5'10".
5'8".
They can't see me standing up on the podcast.
Man, that clip was informative, huh? Well, there's plenty more right here if you click that. Also, go ahead and subscribe right there.